Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Books, Girls, and Purrs. My name is Leslie, and I'm starting a little bit late. I was having issues, tech issues, the usual. Um, all right, so we're gonna start watching episode 2 of Interview the Vampire, but first, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen because there was some other great art that came out. Um, and you know what? Let's just check it out before we watch the episode. Let me make my, oh, I think I'm small enough, I guess. Look at this. Oh, I have the sound off, which is good because I don't want to get any issues with the tube. And I got a beer. I haven't poured my beer yet. That's how like behind I am. That beautiful one of Louis. If there's anything the fans will do, they're gonna bring their art game. This is so great. I love this one. This is incredible. I think I may have tagged this before. Oh, I love this. It's Scritch. This is very cool. This is like, I think this might be my favorite from Anne Yaya. These are so funny. I mean, this is beautiful. Oh yeah, I think I just saved this one because I like this one so much. After that, I think it's mostly, I don't think it's art anymore. But yeah, here I am late. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start watching the episode. Hey, I don't know if you started watching the episode yet. I'm gonna start watching it right now and mute myself, but then we could totally chat while it's on. Hold on, let me fix my screen. I don't know if this will work, but I am gonna will the lighting be okay? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fine. All right. So I'm late, but thank you for showing up. I'm pouring myself a beer. And I'm gonna press play right now. And then I'll mute myself. Thank you for hanging out. All right, so episode 2. Do you know what it means to be loved by death? All right, I'm back. The episode just ended. What a loaded um conversation between Louis and Armand. No, I just I type too slow. So by the time I typo out something, it's like already happened. And it's like on to the next thing. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Angel Sashi, if I'm saying that right, for popping in. What did you think of this episode? This is I felt like there was so much tension, and there's that veil of romance, but really it's because of the way that we're being told by Armand and Louis, right? That they're telling the tale that they want to tell, and then we have to see between that. Yeah, it was really amazing. Oh goodness. Yeah, it was the actor that plays Santiago. What do you think? I think he's incredible. And not only is he incredible, I really admire how the episode was directed. I don't know, it just felt like it genuinely felt like we were in a theater, and we get a sense of that like theater culture, and also like the layer of fandom that was there, that like it really did remind me of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's what I kept thinking of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was incredible. He did. He stole the show. He really did. I had a feeling, but once he was on, I mean, I'm so glad for all like the close-ups in a way of him when he's like coming into the audience. That was incredible. And just and the wink has layers to it, and something about the narration. I forgot if it was by Armand, or I think it was by Armand. Oh yeah, when he was saying about the show, like the last show is the one that's important, but oh, not the last show, but like all the last segment is like the real thing, but everything before that is just, like the pump of it all to lure the audience in to a false sense of security. I felt like I feel like that's a nod to what happens to Louis and Claudia this season, right? We know where it's headed, and I just felt like it was symbolic of that, if it makes sense. Yes, he creeped me out in the best way. Just like a powerhouse of creep. I loved it. I loved every minute. Um, but yeah, but I think that character said something about like being disgusted, right? Oh my goodness, it was so good. Um, yeah, and I like that they're showing prior to that Louis and Armand have like this meet cute moment, but we know it's being orchestrated by them telling the story. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I get that he didn't like Louis, and we do see that Louis kind of squinty eyes Santiago when he like passes along that kiss to Armand. So there is that kind of like incestuous nature of the theater that they were kind of saying that Lestat had, but I'm sure he's not the only one. Um, oh my gosh, where was I going with this? Yeah, I don't think they like each other, but also when Armand and Louis meet, Armand said something like, "We're not going to harm you." But they already know Claudia exists. They don't say like, "We're not going to harm you." and Claudia or the prisoner, the other vampire, they're just like, we were not going to harm you. Yeah, truly. The squint of all squints. It's like right at Santi baby. That was so good. Oh my god, where do we go? There's so many things. Oh my, I love Daniel. What was it last episode? There's just like he has these zingers that always stick with me. In this episode, it was when he brought up the telenovelas. Oh, okay. So last episode, Daniel Malloy brought up Shah Rukh Khan, the actor, like the really famous actor. And this episode, I think it was him bringing up telenovelas. I'm like, okay, Daniel, you're bringing the culture. And then he put on the music just like that. He was just on it. That was so good. Oh my god. But I like that they just brought it up. Um, they just went right into it. Not only did they show their portrait, but they make it clear, like, oh yeah, Armand was with him too. Oh my god. Mine this episode was, I think it was a yeah that got her. Yeah. Yeah. The way they say it. There's too many moments with them. Yeah. I've been saying it. So many of those Dubai moments are just, they just crackle, you know? And the actor, Eric Bogosian, as Daniel, the way like, okay, so I'm going to bring up both episodes. Episode 1, the season, when his character is reacting to the emotion of Louis, to his vulnerability, and he's kind of like giving vulnerability back because he's like, oh, this is a moment. And then in this episode, the fact that he's like, they really cut his heart and he's emotional, but you could tell as this character, he's the actor's portraying like, I'm hurt, but also I'm trying to keep my equilibrium. And oh my god, his hand, oh my god, it all got to me. That was incredible. Yeah, I mean, we've heard that the Dubai scenes are going to be just crackling, and they are. They were so good. Um, gosh, I feel like I'm in in a tailspin. Let me know what else other moments you liked. I hope he gets back at them next episode because that Louis did messed up. Yeah, that was really messed up. It's like he just got what was it that Daniel said? He got triggered by what Daniel was saying because he was pushing his buttons and then he couldn't take it anymore. And then he's like, I'm gonna lash out at you. I'm gonna go there. Full throttle, go after your emotional moment in life. Oh, that was good. But I like how when he's doing that, Daniel gets this glimmer, right? Like all of a sudden we see that shot and we know it's like he's getting a flicker of a memory. And the memory was Armand bringing up another memory, right? Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lestat wasn't Daniel wasn't buying the Lestat story. Yeah. The messiness of it all. Oh, have you read the books? Because in season 1, and then last episode and this episode, we fully see like the law firm, but I don't remember unless the timeline's different. I just don't. It's been so long since I read the books. I don't remember how that law firm is like. Why did Armand know about it? Is it? Do they just network? All the old vampires? Is that what it is? I don't remember. I just remember from the books that like Lestat was involved with them, but I'm clearly there's stuff that I don't remember. And I'm rereading the Vampire Lestat right now. I'm barely at the beginning, and then I'm re-listening to in the car the Vampire. Oh no, Queen of the Damned, because I could kind of pick up things as we're going along and watching this. Oh my gosh, hold on one second. I totally. How do I turn off the volume? Oh, I did like how I'm totally taking a peek on my other screen right now because I'm trying to remember. I like that we see Madeline early on. No, sadly, I haven't read the books. I thought Armand knew because they had been watching Louis and Claudia. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Hmm. That's true. I felt like there was something else going on there, but I just don't remember. I'm totally going to end up Googling it later. This is how obsessed I am. And the other thing is, what else? Oh, I like that they brought Madeline in early on, that there's some sort of like contact that Claudia has with Madeline. In the books, I'm not spoiling anything. It's just like a little bit of a difference, but it doesn't really matter. In the book, Madeline exists, but she's a doll maker. Um, and of course the ages were different, but she's definitely a character from the book, basically, is what I'm getting at. And they're bringing her in early on. So I thought that was cool to see. You know what? You know what I should have seen, and I don't know why I didn't? When the letter came up, oh, and it says my Louis. The fact that the letter says my Louis, I was like, oh my god. And that seeing like Lestat's hand come in and like grab the letter and read it to him. That's like such a perfect moment for that projection of Lestat. And I wasn't expecting it. I don't know why, but it makes sense. Um, and yeah, it's just devastating to know the person that he left the letter for is the person that did this to him, you know. This was a different Lestat from the one from last week. Yeah, like the suit is different, and I could be wrong. Okay, so last episode he was wearing the clothes that he like died in the season finale of uh, last season. And then this outfit, I thought it was, I could be wrong. I kind of felt like it was the same outfit he wore when Lestat and Claudia and Louis went to go visit Louis's mom when she passed away. I think it's that outfit when they went to the wake. I could be wrong. I got to go back and look. But I thought that's the tie he was wearing. It's been a while, I think. I could be, yeah, I'm probably wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Dreamstat's hair is gorgeous. My hair is always a mess. But Dreamstats looks like he pressed it. um, oh, and the fact that Dreamstat tells him, oh, not really Dreamstat because it's a letter, but when he tells him, what does he say? Like, don't seek revenge. Let what that person did eat at them. I thought that was wild. Truly, yes. Hook it up, Dreamstat. We're trying to get by over here. Oh my god. I'm totally taking a peek at what we just watched on the other screen. Oh, and it's like a minor narration thing. Uh yeah, narration is that when all the coven took off with Louis and Claudia to go have a feast at that mansion. He said something about how they were slithering through. He used the word slither, which then, to the audience makes us think of snake. And I thought that was an interesting choice of words to say that they were slithering through. It's definitely like this ominous tension within the story. I think that's everything. I think they're just having the conversation at the end, like it's dangerous if the coven feels like they're being lied to. Like, oh. Yeah. Also, when um when Armand and Louis are on the couch and like um I think Armand is saying how like there's a certain way there's like a decorum in a way, right? Of how you greet like one coven to another. What he's also giving away within the conversation, he just uses different words, but I think it's something simpler that Lestat did, right? They were stalking them. That's how I feel. And I'm surprised the character Daniel didn't like make a quip about that. Um, because last season, Louis quite literally says like he was stalking, I was being stalked and I was unaware. And this season, I feel like Armand is and the Coven is doing the same thing to them, but he's not saying stalk. It still feels like the same thing, if that makes any sense. Yes, I love Angel Sachi says, I laughed when Claudia said she felt Armand and Louise less. Yes, there's like moments like that. I love Claudia. She says it like it is. She calls Louis out constantly. Whether it was Louis or Lestat last season, she was calling him out and just really reading into Phil. At this moment, she's calling out, what's unsaid. She's like, these two are horny for each other. That's basically what she's saying. And that was just so good. Oh, I love that. Claudia's potty mouth this season. She is very much a grown up now. Yeah, definitely. Oh my god. Yeah, I love this actress and how she's portraying Claudia. I like both. I know it's like never easy having to recast someone, but I'm glad that they did because like character. What how is it? Claudia is such a beloved character from the books, and I'm basically just like having a positive attitude about it. That I'm just like glad that I didn't live in a day and age that I get to see an adaptation of books that I love, but also that I'm getting like two different portrayals of a character, right? I think that's actually pretty cool. So I'm happy with like the fact that there was a recasting. It happens. But yeah, I mean this particular actress is just like she is very much Sparky, this season. So, and the dialogue is incredible. It's, yeah, she just goes in for it. It's incredible. But yeah, that's basically the last thing I have to say. I'd say to close this out, what do you think is going to happen next episode? What do you think is going to happen? The arc of it, I think. But also, I've watched way too many interviews. I feel like we're gonna get. I don't know how much of the story it's gonna like take up, but I'm wondering how much of like. I feel like we're gonna get at Daniel's backstory, or more of Daniel, because we saw that flicker, right, of a memory. Oh, just back to something I just remembered real quick. Was Daniel remembering Armand feeding him a false memory? The only time I've seen that is in the commercials. I didn't see it in this. That I don't know. What was the significance of him seeing something about Armand telling him about the dream? Oh, okay. So this is what I think, but I don't know yet till we see it. Um, because this is like some of the stuff that they're doing for Daniel's character is original and because it's the fine details, right? Um, I don't know, but I feel like when that happened, I just think that when Louis was interrogating him, it was just such a vulnerable moment that it like unlocked something for him. So my theory is that just like these interviews that we're having with Louis, because he is an old vampire, and I think that there's things in his past, as we see, his emotions unravel. There are things that maybe he doesn't want to remember, and maybe he feels like he's at a point in his life where he does want to remember now. He thinks he's ready, because last season, when we at the I think it was like the last episode or second to last episode, we had Daniel remembered meeting them, right, and realizing Armand was at the bar. I'm bringing that up because Louis says something when he meets him, like, "Oh, I did a bad thing once," and I can't tell what the bad thing is. Is it a bad thing that him and Claudia got rid of Lestat, or is it something else? Because the interview is still continuing, right? So what else is a bad thing? Shouldn't he said bad things? um, Going back to that, the idea of memory and how when something traumatic happens, you might block it out. So I feel that same way about Daniel. There's something going on, and that moment triggered a memory that's like slowly being unlocked, I think. Angel Sashi says, in the flicker that Daniel saw, you see Armand telling him, like, you stole your daddy's dirty magazine or something like that. So why would Daniel remember Armand telling him that? I think that he's trying to like glamour him or something. I don't know what they're going to call it in this show. And I don't remember the characters, like the powers work different on the show. But I felt like maybe he was trying to, I'm making it up, glamour him. Like he's trying to have Daniel, younger Daniel, focus on a memory to almost like hypnotize him, I think, to do something. That's my hypothesis. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm getting from that moment. I kind of think of like the cheesy examples of like hypnotist telling people to like close their eyes and focus on something. And so at that moment, he dug into a memory of Daniel's for some reason. Maybe he's having Daniel focus on a memory to then bury another one. Is this too tinfoil hat? That's just what I was thinking. I don't know. I don't know. What a moment. Their acting is incredible. Hmm. Yeah, I think it was a pass because if you go back and you pause it, because I went 10 seconds back and I paused it. It looks like from the trailers we've seen, I can't tell if it was like Louis' apartment at that time period or Daniel's apartment, but it definitely was. I mean, it wasn't them in the room. It was a different background. And I could be wrong. I have to go back to that moment. Oh shoot, going to the wrong screen. Ah, it reminded me of oh my god, I'm totally going back to it right now. Hold on. Oh yeah, I have it. I stopped right. It was at 41 minutes and 46 seconds. You see what a crazy fan I am. Let me pause the sound. How do I do that? I went 10 seconds back. Let me look. I can't tell. All I know is I mean, not Daniel, Armand's hair is different. And there's a window in the background and the shades are closed. And it's not Dubai. It's like, I think it's a memory. Yeah, that's what I think's going on. Just like last season when he had like what was it? He was dreaming and like a memory popped up. Yeah, I think just him being under duress like released that. So I wonder what is gonna what is gonna unlock the rest of the memory that Daniel has because the season and the trailers, the theme is memory is the monster. And at one point, when Louise says something like, "What was her response?" You literally see Armand say it at the same time. Yes, and an early kind of like this that this is more ominous. How you're saying how they say it at the same time, but early on they do that same thing, but like in a cute way, right? Where they're finishing each other's sentences. Where Louis says, "Oh, let me tell a story," and then he says the same line anyways. So we see how much of an influence Armand has on Louis, in my opinion. Yeah, that's messed up. That's like so messed up that they just kind of like dig away at him in that way. But I still hold on to the fact that Armand gave himself away because it wasn't just like a moment of vulnerability, right? When he sees that they pushed Armand sees that they pushed Daniel too far and that his feelings have been hurt, but he gives him something, right? He gives him the gift of being like, "Oh, Alice wanted to say yes, but she just didn't like you didn't give her a reason to for her to trust you." And I felt like he wouldn't be able to pick that just from a memory. It would have to be like, was he there? That's what I'm thinking. It just led to more questions. He cannot just figure out how, I don't know, or maybe I'm wrong. I think maybe I'm wrong because he can't just pick out like why Alice felt that way on the spot, right? From and he can't just get it from a memory. I'm saying this, but then Louis, a couple of seconds later, right, says something like, um, "Oh, we could do that from here." Like, I guess maybe search out for her in a way, telepathically, maybe. But how much? How do I know if that? How much is that true or not in that moment? I don't know. I don't know. They're both tricksters, so I don't know. Yeah, that's why I don't know. I don't know if it was just I don't know if he was going into her memory or if there's more to it. This show this show, when I'm really into a show because I go full tinfoil hat and I start thinking all sorts of crazy things. And most of them I'm wrong about. By the end of the season, any theories I have, I'm sure I'm gonna be wrong, even though I read the books. But it's fun to talk about. That's what the show does. Because clearly I'm all about my telenovelas. I'm totally taking a peek again, real quick. I do find it incredibly fascinating that, like, as the episode ends, yeah, 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 you already got me. Univision, Daniel's the wild one. He's all about the pop culture internationally. He's on top of everything. But what was the okay? At the end of the episode, I felt like it was so ominous. Like when they're driving away and Louis is sitting there and he's just digesting everything Armand just told him, and behind him is this like uh, the fire being flamed and like starting to engulf the property. I feel like that's like so symbolic of his mind. He's like, "Oh, ish, what are we? Where are we? This is like, um, they've come to a dangerous place in a way." So yeah, this show, no one could be happy. It's just going to be downhill from here. Before we move on to our theories about like next episode, do you have anything else you want to talk about this episode too? Angel Sashi says, so by the way, the coven do know that Claudia is young, obviously. So do they now have a rule about children vamps already? I think so. I think the coven, we kind of see it again in this episode. They haven't even met them, and they're already talking about um, the decorum and rules just to introduce yourself. So I'm sure that's going to be at play. Um, and there's got to be like a rule book to live by for the coven, right? So I think that's going to come up. I just don't know when, but we've definitely seen glimpses of that in the trailers, bringing that up. So I just don't know how much it's gonna play a part. But they're definitely like at this point where they're scoping them out, and yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll see. You'll see. We'll see. I'm surprised they didn't say anything about her age and the child vamp role yet. You'd think that would be the first thing. I think right now it feels like I feel like they're scoping them out. And I think because they're spending time with them, I get the sense that they're trying to give Louis and Claudia like a false sense of security. They're two people that are not a part of their coven yet, right? So that's another thing I don't know. I know that those are the rules that the coven lives by, but what if the people that you're meeting aren't in your coven? Does that mean the rules don't apply to them? Or do they reinforce the rules even though other vampires aren't part of your coven? I mean, they made it clear pretty early on that the coven is vicious anyways. So I don't know. Yeah, she was so happy. Even happy she scared me. Yes, the fact that she's like, I never want to leave here. Hands up. I'm like, oh girl, tame your happiness. Because any dramatic show, whenever there's like a glimpse of happiness around the corner, there's about to be something going on. So yeah, incredibly happy. Which is sad. Because she so desperately wants to connect with others that are like her, right? Because she definitely, like last episode, what did she say? She said, Louis is dead weight. She wrote it in her journal. And I mean, clearly disappointed in Lestat because he's not there. So it just feels like she's had like disappointment after disappointment. I don't know. No, it's something to consider. Angel Sasha said she was grinning while Louis was sitting in that play looking so disgusted. Yeah. She probably felt like finally one like me, or a whole group of them like her. And also, that is something that she had in common with Lestat, right? She didn't really have the affliction that Louis has, to care so much for humanity. And I definitely feel like in the adaptation of the show, they're drawing a line between Lestat and Claudia, and I feel like they're saying, she's definitely like her father's daughter in a way when it comes to Lestat. There's a lot of um, parallels to their characters and like connections, that they make, and I think that's going to continue. Even from what I saw from the trailers, I feel like that's something that they're making that particular character connection within the narrative that I thought was interesting. But yeah, I could keep talking. I could keep going back and talking about that theater scene because it was incredible. I was like, this feels like being in a theater. The whole like call and response. Um, yeah, that was really cool. All right. Now for the next episode, I think, what is it? I just feel like because we saw the little glimpse today of what Daniel saw in his mind, I think we're gonna get more on Daniel next episode. But I don't know how that's gonna link to the narrative of like what's going on in Paris. But you know, in that trailer, there was that scene where they're the coven, along with Louis and Claudia, were eating at a dinner table, and it became like a tense moment. I feel like that scene in the trailer is gonna be in the next episode. I think where we see that they're having a nice time now, but by the end of the episode of this episode, we do see that there's this ominous feeling. And so I think next episode we're going to see a little bit of that get amplified. And I don't know how much. I feel like we're going to get some of Daniel's memory, but I feel like now that I think about it, I feel like it might be like at the end of the episode, kind of like what happened last season. Because last season, I think it was like the second to last episode. At the end of the episode, Daniel like had a memory in his from his dreams, or he was dreaming and then he remembered something. Okay. So then Claudia is going to try and learn how Santiago calmed that lady. Yeah. I like that theory. Yeah, I could see because she definitely admires him, and I could see how he could be like a potential a vicious mentor in a way. Um, I think we might get another glimpse, at least, of Madeline, and it might just be just as short as the scene was this episode. But I think she's going to be in the next episode again. At least that's what I think. Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I'm excited. Oh, yeah. You know what? Oh, shoot. Angel Sashi says, do you think that Armand is using Santiago's trick? Oh my God, even better. Using it on Louis in some way. You know what? Yes. Okay. Let's let's look at an example of this because you brought it up. Great hypothesis. Because last season, when was it? It wasn't the second to last. It was either the third to last or the second to last episode last season when Louis and Daniel are at the like that dinner table. They weren't eating, but it was like that dinner table where like the reflections on the through the dining table, and that moment where Louis, much like this episode, where he goes too far and he like shakes Daniel's hand, and Armand was still like Rashid at that time, the fake Rashid, and he came over to Louis and he put his hand on his shoulder and like calmed him. So I think that that's definitely, yeah, I think that's definitely something that he does. Huh. You're giving me things to think about, but yeah. Do you think that it could even be consensual? I think so. I think when it comes to Louis, it is, but who knows? You know what I also think? Only because they stress it so much in this show between last episode and this episode is that they say that they were together for what, 77 years, something like that. And last episode, Louis said, let the math of that settle. And then this episode, they bring it up again, like, oh, we've been together so long. I think somewhere in their relationship, they have had to have a break. I mean, I it's a long time to be with someone. I just um I think that they're I just feel like some of their relationship, I feel like there's things between them that they're not going to just like tell this interviewer that the ins and outs of their relationship, the good and the bad, you know. I just feel like they're giving a front of like a pristine relationship, and I don't think that's it. And last episode where they have that bedroom scene, it reminded me of I Love Lucy, except it was one bed. Like they're like not touching each other. There's a little peck on the cheek, and then like Louis left Armand hanging. So I think something else is going on there. Angel Sasha says they both removed the pages apparently, and maybe whatever reason Armand has for messing with Louis' memory, if he did, then it could have even been Louis' idea. That's the other. This is also something that I think is a possibility. I totally agree. I definitely feel like last episode, to piggyback of what you're saying, as proof is the fact that when Louis asks for the pages that have been cut out, Armand brings it up. He's like, "We agreed, um, you know, to not have those pages." And for some reason, I feel like not having the pages in there happened way before the interview. I don't think it's just about the interview. I think those pages were removed way before so that Louis wouldn't be tempted to read those. You know, like self martyrdom. Like don't do that to yourself. And so I think that's part of it. Yeah. But I also agree with the fact that if Armand did do something, I'm calling it glamour because I don't know what else to call it. Um, I also think that was something that was consented to by Louis. So I think we're also gonna see over and over again the position that Louis is in right now is very much like his doing. Just like when Daniel digs into things with him, it's so much about him not taking responsibility, you know, for his side of things. Even this very moment that we're in, it all leads to um, Louis not taking responsibility. I don't know. It gets the show is so deep, but and in that last episode, Armand says something like, "We can have him saying what happened next in no time." Why would he say that? Were they implying they don't remember? I'm totally reading this again. And in that last episode, Armand says something like, "We can have him saying what happened next in no time." Yeah, I agree with like the second part of that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we see like a little bit of it now. I also think they're talking about kind of like how they totally broke him today. They totally like Louis hurt his feelings and went like a little too far emotionally, and then so he became this like Daniel became despondent and was like, "Okay, no sass. I'm just gonna ask what happened next, and I'm not gonna question you." So I definitely feel like that's kind of in line what Armand was thinking. Yeah, there was that line when basically agreed to tag team Daniel. Yeah, no, yeah, I totally. I've watched the episode so many times. I'm picturing it in my mind. It's a bedroom scene. Yeah, poor Daniel. Something else we haven't seen, and I don't know when we're gonna see it. I don't know if it's the next episode or episode 4, but it's gotta be coming soon because in the trailer we see that Daniel he has a scene and he's like in a bar or something and talking to another gentleman And so I wonder when that particular scene in a trailer is going to happen. Like, when are we going to meet this other character? Who are they? I'm going to have an idea. I don't want to say it because I read the books. And it's also, I'm just theorizing because I don't know. It was in trailer, but I'm like, when are we going to get that particular scene? Armand says, like, if we do this together, we can have him say what happened next in no time. So I was a bit confused. Like, I didn't understand that. I think he meant, like, if we do this together, they could keep Daniel in line. And because, and tell a story that they really want him to tell. And I think they underestimate Daniel. There's like this emotional tug of war with Louis because Armand says that Louis lost, what do you call it? Lost control of the interview. And I think this is another example of there's like of Louis being split in two, right? There's him wanting to, they have an agenda and we don't clearly see it, but they have an agenda of the story that they want to tell. So there's that. But I think beneath the surface, what Daniel is doing on some level, Louis actually wants that. Like, he did lose control and he's still agreeing with Armand, like, oh yeah, let's get on track. He says that, but then like in that same episode, on the season 2 premiere, he also breaks down like crying, and then also has much gratitude for Daniel for like unlocking some memories for him. So it's a mixed bag between what Louis is grateful for uncovering versus how they want the interview to actually go. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I think Louis is like so much more in conflict with himself in this interview versus what Armand wants to get out of this too, or what they told themselves in their relationship that they want to come this interview. I think there's a lot of Louis lying to himself in some ways throughout his life of just things that he doesn't want to face, I think. Yeah, because between that conversation with Armand and Louis in the bedroom, it's like, what do you mean you want to like make sure the story stays in line when Danielle did help him uncover something? So it's just, yeah, the truth has him just acting out. Yeah. Yeah, because, yeah, I think it's like a defense of Daniel uncovering the truth. Like, he's going to keep pushing. But once again, Louis still, he doesn't want to take like responsibility, you know? He still wants to tell the story about Lestat the monster. I don't know. I can't wait. I know we're barely in season 2. They better greenlight for, I mean, these books go on and on and on. They better greenlight the next season. And I just realized I was about to say something, but I better not. but they need to. I need more. But yeah, it's wildly entertaining. I don't know. Do you have any theories for next episode? I'm totally gonna take a bite of my food really quick. Oh, that's right. I know. What was I gonna say? I've said it before, so I want to keep bringing it up. But the actor that plays Daniel, um, Eric Bogosian, he spoiled so many things. And I've read the book, and I don't really want to be that spoiled. But he said so many things during these interviews where I'm wondering, like, why isn't anybody stopping him? But I love that actor, so it's all good. So yeah, I definitely want to get a different perspective next season, but we'll see. Yeah, yeah. It's 8 o'clock my time. Is there anything else that you want to discuss before we sign off? Oh, you want to go watch? I will stop what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me think. Give me 1 second. I'll find it right now. It's my oh yeah, my speaker's still on. While I'm looking, hold on. I think I already found it, but let me just check for a second. Oh yeah, I totally found it's TV Insider. I'm gonna drop the link. It's right. I'll let you go in a second. It's right before the 3 minute mark, and it's so funny because Sam Reed, who plays Lestat, just says something like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm," like they're under like an embargo, right, or like an India. I don't know what the terms are. He's like, "I can't give anything away," and right when he's done saying that, then Eric is like, "I know what I can tell you," and then he goes on to say spoiler, and then you can see the actor that plays Rashid Assad. You can see him look off, like he's like, should I stop him? He gives this look. It's incredible. I love it. Oh my god. And he does it again in another interview where it's just him and the actor Assad. Um, he just fully says something and he's like, but I'm not supposed to talk about that. And I'm like, well, then why are you talking about it? Nothing else, just that the show is awesome. You are awesome for talking about this out because they always have my mind racing. Thank you. That's so sweet to hear. Um, I'm doing this basically at the same time. I totally showed up a little bit late, but like 5:50, 6 o'clock, I'll pop in. Um, I think I my schedule's too busy. I think that episode actually drops at midnight, but I'm not doing it at midnight. And so let me tell you, I'm avoiding the internet all day like the plague because I didn't want to be spoiled for that episode. Thank you. I'll be here. It really is just a chat. I'm just like, I have to like, it's either I do this or I talk my family's ear off all the time. And I'm like, and then this happened. And they're so tired of it. They're like, girl, you gotta do something about that. So yeah. With that said, thank you for showing up and spending time with me. Cause yeah, I need someone to talk this out with too. Um, I'll be here around the same time. I'll start at 6 and we'll do like a little pre-chat before we jump in and watch. And then we'll do the same thing. Watch and chat, watch and chat. All right. Love you all. If anybody's watching during the replay, love you. You could also you could continue the chat there as well. I could talk endlessly about the show because I love it. And I'll let everyone have a lovely evening now. Angel Sashi, thank you for being here. I enjoy this talk. And good night. I'll say good night. and enjoy yourself. See you next weekend, next Sunday. Bye.